Okay, today we're looking at the power plant and the Sear of your Model 12. So, Sear is, we've seen that in other videos. There's that spot right there. Give them a little spotlight on it. Right there. And we're going to see how that interacts with other parts in back. Okay, so let's go down the line here. So this is your air tube. Okay, this is your mainspring. It is smaller than the Red Ryder. And the Daisy engineers came up with a clever way to goose the velocity on this, and we'll go over that. It is bigger than your 340 or a Marksman spring, but it's very, very clever the way they made this gun more powerful. So we actually have a second spring, and it doesn't look like much, but the Daisy engineers came up with a way to make a two-spring power plant. And it's very, very cool. So let's go over this. So you have your air tube. You put your mainspring in there. It is bent and back so it doesn't come out the other side, which is good. And so remember, when you work your pump and you cock it back, it compresses that mainspring in here. And I want to say things very carefully here. It is your mainspring, in this case, meaning it's your main power source. And then we have a little spring to help goose it. All right, so let's go over. Okay, so this is your link. And this helps cock your gun when you work your pump. A pin goes through that hole right there. And this is what allows you to cock your gun. So it's pretty strong sheet metal, not the thickest, but it works. And then we have the valve body outside of the power plant. There's the O-ring barrel. And then this part's very interesting. So in other guns, they call this the spring guide, and this is the guide rod, and then a guide base. And the base catches your sear. A lot of times they call it like a notch or catch point, but it's called the base in this. So the rod base. So also I would ask people, okay, so there is a washer, a wiper, and a compression cup similar to a Red Ryder. Okay, try not to take this apart because in this case, it's not that big of a rod, and if you bent this, what will happen is this won't line up on your sear. We'll get to that. This has to catch your sear and your gun won't work. So if you need to replace the seal or the wiper, you can get this off through the thumb and use a pick to pull off the wiper. Okay. All right, so let's have some fun here. We're going to put the secondary spring on the rod, the inner spring. I'm going to put it through here. And then we're going to have a lot of fun in this video with this. And then we're going to put on your, there we go, and put on back, screw on your rod base. Okay, almost there. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to have some fun. So I'm going to show you how this works in your gun and how the moving parts work with your sear and your trigger. And okay, and we need to put this on front and with the cog, or yeah, the cogs facing you. All right. So then we just go ahead and just gently twist that in there. There we go. It doesn't have to go very deep. Okay. And now we're going to put this in the gun. Okay, hang with me here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's flash a light on that. So there's a catch point all along here. Okay, and caught up here, there's a plastic point catches on. Okay, now we're going to show you the mechanics of the gun, which is very, very cool for this video. All right, so here are the mechanics of the gun. So when you work your pump, and you're right here, when you work your pump and you cock it back, let's see what happens inside your gun. So it comes back. Let me catch a good light for you. It comes back, catches that sear. All right. Oh, okay. And then, let me hold it right here. Now, this is what's fascinating. This is what I was really, okay, now, your gun is cocked, your pump is back, and then when you re-rack the slide, you bring it forward, you goose the second spring, it charges the second spring. So when you cock it, it charges the main spring. When you rack it, it charges the secondary spring. And so then watch here. Very cool, and that helps goose your velocity. It's very, very clever. Very, very impressed with Daisy. Okay, so let's do it again. All right, let me catch a nice light here. Okay, so you cock your gun. Watch that sear. Okay, you rack your pump to its forward position. Charges a second spring. So that's very neat stuff. And this is a very fun gun with a lot of cool engineering to it. So anyway, so as far as the spring goes, you know, I would cut people off at the pass here. They're going to want to know, you know, oh, can I put a new powerful spring in here? You know, the parts that you risk if you do that, you could damage the plastic. Unless you're a pro, there's only a few people that understand if you up the power of the spring, if other parts that are at risk have to be compensated. Meaning, okay, this is plastic, so if you can't figure out a way to make that reinforce it, it'll shatter it, crack it. The link arm also could warp, and if it warps because you have a too strong of a spring, then it's not going to be good for anything. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. And yeah, the Model 12 is a lot of fun, and I really like it because of the small springs. I can operate it from the shoulder, and I wouldn't trade that for all the power in the world. I love shooting this gun and shooting it from the shoulder and pumping it from the shoulder. Very fun. Thank you.